Okay, so this template is going to show you how to create a series of 3 videos for a 3-day product or service launch. So you're not just getting a template for one video here, you're actually getting a template for 3 different videos that are sent out over the course of 3 different days. So let's just go over the brief overview here. So launch videos are typically a series of videos released over the course of several days to create buzz and anticipation around your upcoming product or service. The goal is to deliver your best high value content to the goal is to deliver your best high value content for free to warm up prospects for your upcoming offer. This is often referred to as turning your sales letter on its side because all important elements from a long-form sales letter are present across the launch video sequence. So basically what this means is that you're taking your typical sales letter, all the elements found in a typical sales letter, and you're splitting it up over the course of 3 different days. And when done right, this technique can generate massive amounts of sales in very little time, because by the time you present your paid offer, prospects are already sold on it days in advance from consuming your free content. And here's a link where you can check out one of my best launch videos, and if you click over, that'll take you to YouTube. And this is just for one of our old Primo Press themes called WP Auto Mall, and you can just see how we introduce that theme. And this video was actually a 1 video product launch because our customers knew who we were. We were at the point where we were releasing new themes every 3 weeks at one point. So we didn't have to do a 3-day product launch because we had a solid customer base and we didn't have to go through that entire selling process. But if we were starting from scratch to get things going, we would. So basically we would condense all of these elements into 1 launch video. So you might want to check out that video. A lot of the elements from this will be found in that. And like I said here, these 3 different videos here can be condensed into 1 if your audience knows who you are and you don't have to do as much selling. So let's go ahead and get started. So the 3-day product or service launch. So this would work for online products, it would work with offline businesses, it could work with local marketing services, it could work with book launches, it could work with software product launches. It really doesn't matter. Anything could benefit from a product launch. If you have a new product or service that you're trying to get out to the world and you're trying to generate some sales, then a launch will definitely do the trick. So here's how I've done it, and starting with day 1. So you're going to see a lot of the elements from these different days here, or a lot of the elements that you're going to see here are also going to be found in the video sales letter template, because the video sales letter is kind of like the master template, and a lot of those elements that are found in that template will be found in the other templates but used in different ways. For example, a lot of the elements from the video sales letter template will be used over the course of 3 different days here, but just in a slightly different way. So on day 1, you might make a video where this is the first time your viewer might be seeing your product or service, so you have to do some type of introduction, say who you are, just give a brief introduction of yourself, why you're making this video. Tell them what you're going to tell them. Tell them what they're going to learn over the course of the next 3 days, or maybe 4 days, or whatever the length of your launch is. Make sure you let them know what's in store for them so you can create some type of anticipation so they'll stick around for the remaining videos. So tell them why you're making this video. Maybe it's because you want to teach them how to use video marketing to get more customers into their restaurant. Okay, maybe you're making you have a product for restaurant owners, and maybe that product is a video creation service or something like that. Maybe you would create a new video for the restaurant every month and get it on the first page of Google. I don't know. And maybe your launch for that service would be teaching them how they could use video to get more clients, and then at the end you would have a done-for-you service. So tell them, over the next few days, I'm going to be showing you how to use video to get more customers into your restaurant. So that's what they're going to get out of this video. If you don't tell them what they're going to get out of this video or over these series of videos here, you're going to lose them right away. So make sure you do that first. And just like in the video sales letter template, you're going to tell your story. You're going to talk about how you got started in this business, struggles that you faced, and then this is where you actually start to talk about the problem. So using the same example again here, let's say you offer a done-for-you video creation service for restaurant owners, okay? Done-for-you video marketing service. So you could talk about how maybe if you don't own a restaurant, you could talk about a friend or someone else that you know who got started in the restaurant business, who didn't have or who had trouble getting people in the door. Maybe they almost went out of business. You could talk about the struggles they faced and just talk about how they just couldn't get customers in the door of their restaurant. And again, I don't want to go too much into why you need to tell a story here because that's all covered in the video sales letter template, which is kind of the master template here, so you should watch that one first. But the reason why you should tell a story is because you're building rapport with the viewer, you're creating trust and credibility so they can see you're a real person, they can see you have real struggles just like them, and it gives them a mirror to look into and admit their own struggles without actually admitting they have a problem. Again, check out the video sales letter template if you need any clarification on this stuff. So after you've done the introduction, whether it's an introduction of you or a friend of yours, it doesn't matter, or even a made-up person, an avatar, if you will, do that introduction. Then you're going to actually get into the problem identification. And this is where you actually start to talk about the problem that your product or service solves. So again, using the done-for-you video marketing service for restaurant owners example, this is where you can actually talk about how your friend couldn't get any customers in the door of his restaurant. Maybe he had like 5 people in his dining room at a night and he couldn't get any more, whatever the case may be. And again, the same elements of the video sales letter. People don't like to admit their problems. So if a restaurant owner is watching this video right now, so if we made a sales video for restaurant owners and they're having trouble getting customers in their door, they know they have that problem. But if you call them out and say they're doing something wrong, or they're not getting those customers in the door because they're not marketing online, they're going to go into complete denial because you're calling them out. So what you're doing here by telling a story from the point of view of someone else is you're giving them a way to admit that they have a problem, but by seeing it through someone else's eyes, if you will. And again, watch the video sales letter template if you need more clarification on that. But after you've identified the problem, you go into agitate the problem and talk about how it got worse. Again, showing them what's in store for them if they don't take action to solve the problem without calling them out specifically. In this case, we could talk about how our friend couldn't get customers in the door of his restaurant, so he went out of business. He lost his house. His wife left him, and he had to get a small 400 square foot apartment and live in it by himself and eat cold pizza every day because he couldn't afford to go grocery shopping. So that would be where we actually agitate the problem and let them know what's in store for them if they don't fix it. And in the product launch series, we're actually going to give them the solution. We're not just going to propose a solution, we're going to give them part of the solution. So we're going to give them some nice free quality content that they can use, and then, but we're not going to give them everything. So for example, if you have maybe a service, like I said, a done-for-you video marketing service for restaurant owners, give them the solution. So tell them exactly how they can use video to get more customers, how they can, shoot customer testimonial videos for all their happy customers and put them on Facebook and create buzz and build a customer list and email their customers when they have specials and stuff like that. Give them some nice solid pieces of advice, but without giving away your product or service for free. And just a few more ideas here. If you do this right, you can actually set up your product or service as the next logical step solution. So in that case, we would be giving them all this free advice on how to use video to get more customers, but they probably don't have the time to do that themselves. So the next logical step would be to pay someone else to do it. Now they know how it works and what it could do for them. They know they want to take advantage of video marketing, but they don't have the time or the skills to do it themselves. So the next logical step would be to hire someone, which perfectly sets us up to pitch our service. So just a few ideas here. If you're selling software, for example, your product launch could show them how to solve the problem manually. For example, we could talk about how to rank a website on the front page of Google. Okay, we can show them how to do it manually with quality content and perhaps some link building, and then that would be the course of our product launch. But the done for you part, or the product, could be a done for you solution, which could be software that does it automatically for them. If you're selling a web design service, your product or service launch could be some nice high quality info on how a website could be used to get more customers in the door. And at the end, you could sell a done for you service so that they don't have to do it themselves. So it doesn't matter what you sell. Just because you're in a particular business, don't tell yourself that a product launch or a service launch is not going to work for you. There's always a way to do it. So on day one, you would give them some nice quality content, but you don't want to give them everything just yet. You want to end off the video with some type of cliffhanger to keep them wanting more. Okay, so maybe you're giving them 3 tips. Maybe on day one you only reveal 1, and then on day 2 you're going to reveal the second one. So you can end the video by saying, okay, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Today we covered XYZ, but we still haven't covered ABC or DEF yet. Meet me back here tomorrow for video 2, where I will reveal the second step or the second tactic. Okay, and then you can just quickly recap what we covered and end the video. And like I said here, videos 1 and 2 could always be condensed into one video. Actually, all these can be condensed into one video. It totally depends on where you are in your business and how well your customers know you and how much selling you actually have to do. So the call to action at the end of day 1, you're not actually asking them to buy yet, but there still should be a call to action. You still want your audience to take part or participate in this product or service launch event. And the whole idea for videos 1 and 2 is to get engagement, to generate some social proof so that other people that are checking out these videos see that other people are interested in them as well. So the call to action for day number 1 should be for them to leave a comment below the video. Say, if you enjoyed this video, please leave your comment below and let me know what you think. You could say, how do you plan to use this information in your business? Or how do you plan to use this in your life? Or how do you plan to use this information I just gave you? And then the whole idea is to get them to leave a comment below the video. And the reason why you want to do this is because you want engagement in the form of comments. And the more comments you get, the more comments you get, because it's kind of a snowball effect. Once people see that other people are interested in something, they're more apt to participate in it as well. And when people come to your video and they see all the comments on it, they're going to say, wow, this, people are really liking this. Maybe I should check this out and see what it's all about. So that's the whole point of day 1 and day 2, is getting engagement on your videos and getting comments. And you can actually use an incentive to actually get people to comment. So instead of just asking them to comment, what we've done before is we've actually given people an incentive. We've basically bribed them by saying, if you leave a comment below, you could win a free copy of this. We're going to pick 5 people at random from the list of commenters and give them a free copy of the product. And what you'll find is that will greatly increase the amount of comments you get. And a recent website we sold, primopress.com, the new owners are using this tactic and it's working very well for them. Whenever they announce a new WordPress theme, they get hundreds of comments on their videos. and generating tons of buzz around their launch because of this tactic alone. So it definitely does work. So moving on. So after day 2, we've got video number 2, and I'm just going to collapse these because they've magically expanded. I don't know why. So day number 2 is where we actually recap what we covered in the last video. So you could start off with the video by saying, I hope you enjoyed video number 1. In video number 1, we covered X, Y, and Z. And then you can actually restate the social proof that you've generated from video 1. So you could say, for example, after day 1, you should have a bunch of comments below your video. So you want to reference those comments. You want to say, by the looks, you've also loved the video. There's over 300 comments on the video, and then show a picture of all the comments and use them as social proof that people are actually interested in this launch. The whole idea of a launch is to create social proof. Okay, it's to create a community, an event around your product or service. So once you've recapped from day 1, you've shown the social proof that you've generated in day 1, then you can actually continue the education process. Continue your teaching, pick up where you left off in video 1, and give away your best stuff. But the whole idea with this giving away and educating your viewer, giving them free stuff, again, is to do it in a way that it actually sets up the product or service that you're going to release in day 3 as the next logical step. So you're not just teaching and giving away content for the sake of doing it. You're doing it strategically in a way that will make them want to desire your product or service naturally, because it's the next logical thing for them to do. Is to, if they want to go to the next step, they will need to buy your product or service. So after you've taught or given away your free content in day 2, this is where you're going to actually propose a potential solution, or basically hint to a potential product that's going to take this whole step further. Okay, so you could say something like, I hope you liked this training on how you can use video marketing to get more customers into your restaurant, but I want to let you know that there's an easier and better way to do this. We've only just scratched the surface here, and tomorrow I'm going to be revealing a way for you to take advantage of video marketing without actually having to do anything on your own, without needing to learn how to edit videos, without needing to sit in front of the computer for hours editing videos, without needing to invest in hundreds of dollars in video equipment, without needing to get on camera. I'm going to show you how you can take advantage of this. And of course, it's going to be a done-for-you service that you offer them. So you're basically teasing that something is coming, and this is where you're hinting at your potential product or service, and you're going to say, in the next video, I'm going to reveal it all to you. And again, just some different examples of scenarios depending on your product or service are found here. And then your call to action again would be to leave your comments. So you could say, okay, please let me know what you thought of this video. How do you plan to use this in your business? Or how do you plan to use what I just taught you? And the reason why we do this is because we're going to actually use this social proof in our sales page or in our sales video on day number 3. So we're using the comments from day 1 to create social proof in video 2, and then we're going to use the comments from day 2 and day 1 as social proof in our final video, which is our sales video. Kind of sneaky, but it's not unethical at all. I mean, you're obviously being very upfront, and you're using real comments. It's just a nice little way to generate some nice social proof for your offer, even if you have no customers already. So just tell them to leave your comment below. How do they plan to use this? What do they think? And I've also found that if you be more specific with what you want them to say in their comment, you get a better result. So don't just say, leave your comment below, let me know what you think. Say, leave your comment below and let me know what you think about X, or how do you plan to use X, or how or when can you use this, or what kind of difference will you see in your business with this information. if you be more specific in your call to action, you're going to get a much better response. And again, you want engagement in the form of comments, and you can incentivize. So after day 2, now we're ready to actually pitch our solution, our product or service. So day 3 video can actually start off as a recap. Say, okay, on days 1 and 2, we covered this, this, and this. And at the end of video 2, I told you that I'd have a solution for you that would help you take this one step further or make this whole thing completely hands-off. And you can go into reference the comments again and say, over 500 people have left comments on the videos, and then you could show the comments. Again, creating massive social proof here that people are interested in this. And then you can actually go into introducing the product. You could say, okay, I told you there was more. I told you there was a way to make this easier. I told you there was a way to make this hands-off. And I told you there was an easier, better way. So what is it? Then you actually go to introduce the product. You can say, well, it's actually a new product of mine called Video Marketing Services 5000, and then go into a brief sentence overview of it, describing your product or service. So for example, Video Marketing Service 5000, the easy way to take advantage of video marketing for your restaurant establishment without needing to shoot video yourself or get on camera or whatever. And just go into what they actually get, just like the video sales letter. In this case, we're talking about a service, so you could talk about what they actually get with that service. You could say, okay, I show up at your location with my camera. We shoot your business. We shoot a 10-minute video of your business, and we take it back and we edit it and we get it ranked on the first page of Google within 48 hours for absolutely free. And then we come back a week later, and then you pay a small fee of $497 a month for us to come by and do a free video every month. Or not a free video, but a video just like this every month for all of your different keywords so that people find your restaurant and they actually show up. And you could talk about your bonuses. Like I said, your bonuses should enhance the original product, make it turnkey, make it so they get faster results, whatever the case may be. In this case, a bonus could be, let's see, maybe, I don't know, maybe maybe you put the video on their website for free or whatever. That could be a bonus. Whatever the case may be, work in a bonus there somehow. And the important thing is just to show them exactly what they're going to get, exactly what it's going to do for them, and just basically breaking down exactly what you have. You don't need to do too much selling here because you've done a lot through days 1 and 2, but you still should break down their product or service and be specific about how it's going to help them. And then you can actually use more social proof here before you actually reveal the price. You could use the comments again if you don't have any testimonials yet, but it's always nice to have some testimonials. Maybe you have some beta testers or previous customers you can show off, successful customers who bought your product or service that you can use in your video. Screenshots if you have some type of proof of earnings or proof of traffic or proof of more customers or whatever the case may be. You need to show them some results so they can actually see the potential results that is in store or results that are in store for them. And these are the same examples that we've seen in the video sales letter, and so I'm not going to repeat them here, but the whole idea is to have some type of social proof and some type of monetary proof or proof of something working. And then this is where we have the call to action. So this is where you actually restate what we've covered. You say, okay, so at this point we've covered what this product is, what it will do for you, and we've covered how it's worked for others. Now it's time for you to take the next step. And you can, at this point, it's also a good time to remind them of all the free content you've given them, because we want to use reciprocity to our advantage. So people are more likely to do a favor for you if you've done a favor for them. So if you do a favor for someone, they're more likely to do or return the favor. So we've done them a favor by giving them all this nice free valuable info here. So they're going to be compelled or more compelled to order our product because of that. So we want to remind them of all this free information we've given them, how we've actually helped them up until this point. So it makes more sense for them to invest in our paid solution. And finally, you can reveal the price. Again, reference the total value of everything and cross it out and reveal the final price. Tell them exactly how to order. What are the exact steps? Do they need to click a button? What color is the button? Where is it located on the page? And what happens when they order? Are they going to get their login details emailed to them? Are they going to get an immediate download? Are they going to get access to a private members area? Are they going to get the product shipped out to them within 24 hours? Or are you going to show up at their business tomorrow? Or are you going to call them tomorrow with details on how to shoot their first video? What is going to happen when they give you money? The reason why we do this is because we like to put people's mind at ease. Some people, even though it's not that common today, some people still do get scammed online. So it's always nice to tell people exactly what you're going to do with their money. Tell them how you're going to fulfill the product or service they just bought from you. And what do they need, or why do they need to order right now? Again, talking about scarcity. If you don't use scarcity in your offer in some way, then you're going to greatly reduce your conversions, because you need to give people a reason to order right away. People like to put things off, especially spending money. So if they don't have a reason to order right now, they're going to say to themselves, okay, I'll be back tomorrow to order this, or I'll come back next week, or I don't really need this right now, maybe I can wait a little while. So we want to get rid of that, because someday never comes and they'll forget to come back, or their mind will change, or whatever the case may be. So we need them to order right now. So the way to do that is to give them a few reasons to do that. And we do that with scarcity by limiting the amount of copies we're selling, whether it's a product or service, finding a way to limit that. Maybe it's you have a limited amount of copies available. Maybe you can only take on a certain amount of clients because you only have so much time in a day. Whatever the case may be, find a way to limit your offer. And if you can also add some type of time-limited sale to that, even better. So if we're doing a product launch, you can say, this special product launch price is only available for the next 7 days, and then have a countdown timer below the order now button. So they know that that clock is ticking and they need to order by then, or they're going to have to pay more later. So we've been through this in the video sales letter, so I'll leave you to check that out. But this is basically explaining what happens when they order. Just be very specific about what happens when they click the buy now button to order, or if they're ordering through phone. Explain exactly what happens when they give their credit card details. Exactly how are they going to get the product or service. And then you can actually close the video. Thank them for watching and wish them luck. So I hope you've enjoyed the 3-day product or service launch video series. If you have any questions about this template, just let me know. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one. Okay, so a customer testimonial video is basically a video that you actually don't need to do any script writing for at all, because you're not doing any of the talking or anything. You're basically going to be interviewing happy customers or clients about a particular product or service, whether it's yours or for a client or whatever. I'm sure you've seen these type of videos, especially on TV commercials. You see them a lot of the time, where customers will basically be talking about how they or what they like about a particular product or service. And those videos are just, basically interviews where someone on the other end is asking that customer a series of predetermined questions to get the answers that they want to use in their video. So for the most part, since you're going to be interviewing other people, you're not going to be writing any type of script or anything like that, but you do want to have a list of questions, which we have over here on the right, which we're going to go over here in a minute. These videos can be made up of an interview with like one happy customer, or they could be made up through or made up with a series, or made up with several different interviews with several different people. It's totally up to you and what you want to do and how many customers and clients you can get to interview. So these work great for like offline businesses. If you do anything for offline clients, this is a great simple video to make. Just get like a handful of their happy customers in one room, and just sit down and get them on camera and ask them a few questions, and then take that footage and compile it together to make one video. Just one tip before we get going here. When you're asking your subject or the person you're interviewing your questions, you want to make sure that you tell them to state their answer as if they were repeating your question. So basically, if you ask the customer, how long have you been a customer of Joe's Pizza? Then a wrong answer for them would be 5 years. The correct answer would be, I've been a loyal customer of Pat's Pizza for 5 years now. So you want them to basically restate the question that you ask them and use that in their answer, because when you make this video, the final version will not have your voice in it. It's just going to be their voice. So if they just say 5 years, then the person that's watching that video is going to have no idea what 5 years means. So if they say it like this, then they know, what they're talking about. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So a typical client testimonial video is made up of 6 different parts. So we've got the introduction. This is where you basically ask the customer basic questions about who they are. Then you ask them how long they've been a customer, what do they like most about the particular business, what keeps them coming back, would they recommend it to others, and then a call to action. So let's go ahead and break each of these down. So the introduction is basically where you ask the customer to state their full name and where they're from. So you could basically say, can you please tell me your name and where you're from? And then an example answer from them would be, my name is Betty and I live in Raleigh, North Carolina. Okay, again, she wouldn't just say Betty, North Carolina. She would say, my name is Betty and I live in Raleigh, North Carolina. So that the intro is pretty short. It's basically the first question. Once you get that, you get into the next question, where you basically say, can you tell me how long you've been a customer of, again, we'll use Pat's Pizza as an example. Can you tell me how long you've been a customer of Pat's Pizza? And how long have you purchased their products or services? So an example answer would be, I've been bringing my family to Pat's Pizza going on 7 years now. Okay, so again, it wouldn't just be 7 years. It would be said like this. I've been bringing my family to Pat's Pizza going on 7 years now. And you want them to be very descriptive and specific in their answer. So after you get that answer, the next one would be, what do you like most about Pat's Pizza? Or can you tell me what you like most about Pat's Pizza? And do you have a favorite product or service? If so, why? So an example answer here would be, the thing I like most about Pat's Pizza is their friendly waitstaff and the pizza, of course. It's the best in town. So this answer not only tells them what their favorite thing is, but it tells them why, because it's the best in town. And they like their waitstaff because they're friendly. And again, they state the answer correctly by restating or including the question in the answer. The next question is where you ask them what keeps them coming back. So you might say something like, can you tell me what keeps you coming back to Pat's Pizza? Is it for the food, the awesome service? Is it because it's your family tradition? What is it? And then an example answer would be, it's a tradition in our household. We come to Pat's Pizza every Friday night, mostly because that's our pizza night, and there's no better place to have pizza than here. So again, restating the question and being very descriptive and specific in their answer. The next question would be, would you recommend this to others? So a way you would ask this is, would you recommend Pat's Pizza to your friends and family? And an example answer would be, yes, I always recommend Pat's Pizza to all my friends and family. Maybe I got a typo here. Friends and family. If you're looking for a night out, good food, and a friendly atmosphere, head out to Pat's Pizza. You won't regret it. And then finally, we have a call to action. This is actually not part of the interview at all. Basically, this is something additionally you can add to the end of the video. So if you have just a video with a series of, actually it's 5 questions. I said 6 earlier. If you have a series of 5 questions, you might want to end the video with a logo shot, of the business. Maybe some background music if they have some that they use in their videos or in their TV commercials, and you might want to show their website URL or their phone number. Or you could even have a call to action here. You could have the owner saying, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please check us out online at mywebsite.com or give us a call at 1-800-123-4567 to place your order today. Whatever it may be, you might want to consider putting a call to action at the end of the video. So there you have it, the formula for a very simple yet effective customer testimonial video. Again, it's all about asking the right questions to get the answers that you want. If you end up interviewing like 5 different people or a handful of different people, I would recommend not using all of their answers in the video. I would pick the best answer from each person for each of these questions. So maybe person 3 had the best answer here, so you'd use it here. Maybe person 2 had the best answer here, so you'd use it here. Maybe person 5 had the best answer here, so you'd use it here, and so on. Then you just edit it into one short, quick, and simple video. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you in the next template. Okay, so explainer videos are typically short, fun, animated videos that explain a product or service in about 60 seconds or less. So these types of videos are typically used to promote all kinds of different websites and web-based businesses, such as startups, software service companies, software providers, service providers, apps, and much, much more. So what I've done here is I've provided you with a link to an example of 10 awesome explainer videos that you can check out and use as motivation for creating your own explainer video. So these are typically animated, but like this example down here, they don't have to be, but they all follow a similar template or a similar formula. Although they all differ in some way, they all follow a similar formula, and they all are usually pretty short, around 60 seconds in length, some a little bit longer. It totally depends on the message that you're trying to get across. One of my personal favorites here is this one here, the Zencash and the Pad Mapper one. So check those out if you want some motivation for creating your own explainer video. Now, typically these types of videos, they're kind of similar to video sales letters, but totally different in the same way. They are created to pitch a product or service, but explainer videos are much, much shorter than a video sales letter. A video sales letter could go on for 20 minutes or an hour or more, depending on the product or service you're selling. It's just like a long form sales letter, whereas an explainer video is just kind of there to explain how a particular product or service works, display the benefits quickly, and just have a call to action. Think of it as like a short little overview of a product or service. So you typically see more corporate type businesses using these videos. When you start to get into like direct sales or direct response type offers and businesses, then you see more of the video sales letters being used. But once you get into like a more corporate type business model, then that's where you'll see explainer videos more widely used. So let's go ahead and break down the outline or the format of an explainer video. So the explainer video typically has 6 different parts. We've got a problem identification. This is where you start out the video basically identifying a problem that this product or service solves. Then you introduce the product or service or present the product or service as a solution to the problem. You show how it works. You talk about the benefits. You explain how much it costs if you want to. That's why I have it there as optional. And then you have a call to action for the viewer. to take. So let's quickly go through each one. So an explainer video starts out with the problem identification. This is where you basically just come right out and address the problem. And then you basically could go into saying, oh, but it shouldn't be this way, or there has to be a better way than this. So let's talk about an example. So an example problem identification opener could go like this. Running a small business shouldn't mean hunting down clients who don't pay on time. And I got this example from the Zencash video. It's a perfect example of this format in action. So this starts out with a line similar to this. Running a small business shouldn't mean hunting down clients who don't pay on time. So the problem is hunting down clients who don't pay on time is a pain in the ass. It's a problem that small business owners shouldn't have to deal with. So there has to be a better way. So the better way is their product or service, which is Zencash. So this is where you introduce the product or service, position it as a solution to the problem by explaining how the product or service works, hence the name explainer video. So for an example, xyzapp.com is a web-based tool that automatically bills your clients. Here's how it works. Then you go into the different features and how it works, how the app actually bills your clients automatically, how it sends out bills and follows up with clients and deposits the money in your bank account, whatever. Again, look at the Zencash video to get a perfect working example of this. Then you can go into how it works. So we've introduced the product or service. We say what it does, but now we have to go into the inner details of how it works. So explain how the particular product or service works and down to the step-by-step detail. Be specific and thorough, but don't bore the viewer. Again, look at these examples here to see perfect examples of how these companies do this without getting boring, without going into too much monotonous detail. They basically use animation and entertainment to educate the viewer on how the product or service works. So the whole idea here is to entertain, explain, educate, and use humor where you can if it fits. So example, the how it works section would go something like this. Using our advanced, special, sophisticated algorithms, xyzapp.com tracks when your client pays. When they are 3 days late, an invoice is emailed to them, and then etc., 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 explaining how the app works. So then you'd go into the benefits. So after you've explained how it works, well, you've identified the problem, you've introduced the product or service as the solution to that problem, you explained exactly how it works down to the finest detail, and now we're going to go into the benefits. What's in it for the viewer aside from, the obvious, solving the problem? Well, this is where you can actually tie in all these different features with benefits. So as you're going through all the features of your product or service, such as it bills clients when they're 3 days late, sends out automated invoices, whatever, you tie each one of those features to a benefit. So you need to be covering these questions. Why should they buy the product or service? What does it do for them? What does it help them do? Does it help them bill their clients automatically? Does it help them create videos faster? Does it help them get traffic to their website? What does it do? And what pain does this product or service spare them from? So what things can they avoid by using this product or service? So let's quickly go over an example. So we take care of the hard work so you don't have to. So you can focus on doing what you love. So you can focus on what matters. So you can stop wasting time on doing your bookkeeping manually, for example. So just explain what the product or service does and tie it to a benefit. So the three benefits here are, so you have more time to focus on doing what you love, so you can focus on what matters, like growing your business, so you can focus, or so you can stop wasting time on doing long, boring tasks that you hate doing. So after you go over the benefits, you can go over the price if you want to. Now I have this as optional because sometimes you might not want to say the price because you might be experimenting with different price points, or maybe this video is just for branding purposes. So that's why I have it as optional. So if you want to intro a specific price, you can do that here. If you have multiple plans or packages or price points, Don't go into the detail of each. Just say something like starting at $19 a month, or starting at $10 a month, or starting at $27 a month. Just say your introductory price or your lowest price point and leave it at that. Leave your price breakdown for your order page. So you typically see when a company has like 3 different price packages, for example, you can say starting at a specific amount, and then when they actually click to order, that's where you actually break down your specific price points in full detail. Don't try to do that in the video. That will just take too much time. So example, with packages starting at $19 a month, we've got a plan for every business, no matter how big or how small. And then you've got the call to action. This is where you actually, make the video do what it's intended to do. Are you trying to get people to visit your website from YouTube? Are you trying to make a viral video that people are going to be sharing across social media? Then yeah, you probably want to direct people back to your website or a specific landing page to get started with your product or service. Maybe you offer a free trial, free quote, $1 trial, whatever the case may be. If you're using this video on your website, then you might want to tell them to click a button on this page and order now. And something to think about here. You need to think about where this video is going to be viewed. So explainer videos sometimes are used across social media to generate buzz around a specific product or service. Sometimes they're to put on home pages of websites, and they're kind of used as kind of like sales videos. So this is where you need to think about what this video is going to be used for in the end, because it's going to dictate on what your call to action is going to be. And these types of videos, since they're usually animated, are more expensive than your typical video to make changes to, especially if you have someone doing the animations for you. So just keep that in mind. So let's just quickly go over an example for the call to action before we wrap things up. So an example call to action could be visit xyzapp.com to get started today. Simple as that. Or it could be click the big green button below to get started. It all depends on where this video is going to be being used. So that's a typical breakdown of an explainer video. Again, 6 key parts, and I hope this helps you out when writing your scripts for your explainer videos. Again, don't forget to check out these examples here. They're perfect examples of awesome explainer videos. Okay, so this template is all about creating a local business style web commercial video, obviously for local clients, things of that nature, although it could work for pretty much any type of business. Again, they're just mainly structured for local offline businesses, quick little videos that kind of represent TV commercials that they can use on their website, their YouTube channel, whatever the case may be. So these are typically 30, 60 to 90 seconds in length, and obviously they're promotional in nature, just like all marketing videos are. And here I've included a few different examples of some different types of local biz web commercials I've created in the past. So I've got a YouTube link here, and this is just a demo video. Or actually, once I get this ad off the screen here, you can see it. This is just a demo video that basically goes through a few different local biz style web commercials I've created for a previous product. I've used these for clients in the past, and I compiled them into a product called PLR Video Smackdown version 2. This one is, but I've got like 4 different versions. If you're interested in like purchasing some of these videos that are done for you that you can use for your clients or for your own business, I've got like 4 different packages here you can check out. These are previous products of mine that I've released, if you're interested in that kind of thing. But let's talk about how to actually write a script for a web commercial style video. So they basically start with an opener, we have some free content, and then it ends with a call to action. So these are usually created for local business clients, so they're pretty simple, and again, they're pretty short and straight to the point. Again, there's 3 key parts here, so we're going to break them all down right now. So the opener, this is where you actually grab the viewer's attention by calling them out specifically. And again, if you want to see examples of any of this stuff in action, again, check out this demo video here, and you can see all of this stuff in being used in real time. So the opener is where you grab the viewer's attention by calling them out specifically. So we'll use, as an example, we will use a lawyer web commercial. So maybe you create a web commercial for a client who owns a law firm, and maybe they're targeting people who are looking for a lawyer. So the opener could go something like, "Are you looking for a lawyer in the Miami Beach area?" So this is basically opens the video, qualifies the viewer, and kind of grabs their attention. In their head, if they're looking for a lawyer in the Miami Beach area, they're going to say, "Well, yes, I am, of course." So they're actually going to be more apt to listen to the rest of your video. And this is where you continue on with your content. So this is where you actually give the viewer some free advice or helpful info on the topic. So the topic here is how to find a good lawyer. So the person listening is interested in more information on how to find a good lawyer in the Miami Beach area. And your goal is to construct this free content in a way so that it positions your client or your own business, whatever you're making this for, so it positions the call to action as the best solution for them. So example, if we're making this video to promote a client's law firm, then we want to position this content in a way so that it positions our client's law firm as the obvious choice when picking a lawyer in the Miami Beach area. So just some examples here. Again, the video would start out, "Are you looking for a lawyer in the Miami Beach area?" And then the content would go, "There are a few important things to consider when looking for the right lawyer." And then you could go on to give some free content and tips on things they should look out for when picking a lawyer, how to find the right type of lawyer for what they need and stuff like that. And then at the end of that, you could, or that's where you would actually throw in your call to action. And again, I've got a typo here, so I'm just going to fix that. Positioned. Okay, so if you position the free content correctly, now you can smoothly transition into the introduction of your call to action. So again, if you've done this right, if you've positioned your content correctly, you will set yourself up for introducing the call to action, positioning the product or service or the call to action that you're trying to get them to take. So an example is, well, Bob's lawyer is, or Bob's law firm in Miami actually specializes in this kind of law. Or if you're looking for free advice from a certain type of lawyer, we can help. And then you could actually tell them to contact you or contact your client. Tell the viewer what to do next. For example, to learn more, contact us today by calling 1-800 and then obviously the phone number, or by visiting us online at www.mywebsite.com. So just to recap this really quickly, this is a pretty simple one, but let's just recap it for an example here. The video would start off, "Are you looking for a lawyer in the Miami Beach area?" That qualifies the viewer. Then you go on to give some free content, free advice on how they can find a lawyer in the Miami Beach area. And again, you construct this content specifically so it positions your client as the obvious solution. So when you bring in your call to action, you say, "Oh, by the way, if you're actually looking for a lawyer that specializes in all these things, or we actually meet all these all these criteria we just talked about, we actually meet those criteria. So give us a call at 1-800 whatever." So that's basically it for the local biz style web commercial. Works great for all types of offline businesses, local clients, and again, it could also be used for web businesses. It just could, obviously would need to be adapted a little bit. So I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, so the offline video proposal is used when you want to approach potential clients who are offline local businesses, and you want to use video to approach them. So the point of this video is to point out something that they're doing right with their marketing or with their website or with their YouTube channel or with their social media, and then give them some free tips on how they could do it better. And of course, the key is doing this without insulting them too much. And then you want to let them know that you can offer them a solution or a done-for-you solution to help them do what they're doing better, or do it for them so they don't have to. Example, if you were looking for clients, potential clients to create videos for and manage their YouTube channel, then you would find local businesses who are already using YouTube and making videos, but they just weren't that great, or they weren't using YouTube to its fullest potential, or they weren't doing things correctly. You would find these businesses, make a video for them, point out the things they're doing right, and then say, well, here's how you can do it better, and here's how I can help. That's basically what an offline video proposal is. So there are 5 different parts to an offline video proposal. The introduction, the free tips or advice section, where you give them the free tips or advice. You've got the soft pitch for your services. You've got the social proof of your services, and then a call to action. So this is not a pitch video. This is not a sales video. It's just really a video that is meant to provide value to a potential customer, and obviously let them know about your products or services. So I use these a lot when I was approaching potential clients when I first started with my local consulting business. And they do work quite well. The only downside is they take time to make and send out, so you want to make sure that you're sending these out to highly qualified prospects. So the introduction starts out with what I call the 10-second intro. Who are you? Why should they listen to you? What is the point of this video, and why are you making it for them? And I've got what is the point of this video twice there. So that's basically, you want to introduce who you are, why should they listen to what you have to say, and why are you making this video. So the whole idea here is to quickly introduce who you are, show them that you're an authority on your topic just by introducing yourself as an owner of a local web design business or a local video marketing firm is usually enough to do that quick authority build. You could even reference that you've worked with some of the local businesses in the area. But the idea here is, again, introduce what this video is about, because they're not going to have any idea what this video is about when they start watching it. So just as a quick introduction, you could say, hi, my name is Peter with mainmediapros.com. I specialize in helping other businesses in the Portland, Maine area make better marketing videos, whatever. And I just noticed that you were using YouTube to market your restaurant, and I just noticed a few things that you were doing that you could do a little bit better. I have a few tips or secrets that you could use, that you could apply to your videos to make them better and get better results from them. So then you actually get into the free tips or advice section. This is where you actually tell them, what did you notice they were doing? Did you notice they were using YouTube? Did you notice they were using Facebook? Did you notice they had a fan page or a Facebook page? What did you notice they were doing? So you could say something like, I noticed you were using YouTube to post videos of your restaurant. These look great, but I noticed a few things you left out, or a few things you could do better. Show them how to do it better, and show them how to get better results with what they're currently doing. So some people might be afraid to give away free advice, especially if you're selling a service that actually does this for them. But it all comes down to, these people, or offline business owners, local business owners, aren't marketers. They're not expert video makers or video marketers. They are good at running their business, and they shouldn't be out there trying to make videos or trying to handle all of their marketing. They should leave that up to the professionals. So chances are what they're already doing is not that great, and they're not getting good results from it. And they probably know that. They just don't know how to reach out and find someone else to help them, or they don't see the value in hiring someone else. So it's up to you to show them that value here by giving them some free advice. If you give them some free advice and tell them how to do it, even if they took that advice and ran off with it and tried to implement it themselves, chances are they won't have the time to do it themselves. So they're going to see you as someone who provided them with value, and that increases the chance of them actually paying you to do it for them. So this section all comes down to showing them what they can do better. Give them all your secrets, really. Just tell them exactly what they need to do. If you have a secret strategy for making sure your videos get on the front page in 20 minutes, show them how they could do that. And then the whole idea is just to tell them exactly what to do. Don't be afraid of giving them too much info. Then you get into the soft pitch. This is where you actually After you tell them what they could do better, then this is where you actually say, hey, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or want help with your video marketing, then I just want to let you know that this is a service that I do offer. I am pretty good at it. I have a lot of clients in this area that I've performed this service for. Here are their results, which we'll talk about here in a second under the social proof tab. This is where you just introduce your services without being a salesperson, without hard selling them or making them think that this video was a sales pitch or that they've been tricked into watching a sales pitch. Just let them know that you offer them a done-for-you solution so they can spend less time on doing this stuff and more time on doing what they do best, which is running their business. Don't mention price or anything like that. Don't mention your different packages. Just mention that you do it, and if they're interested, to contact you. So after you've introduced what you do, this is where you can actually let them know about some other local businesses or clients that you worked with in the past. So if you've worked with other businesses in the past, you can say, I've also helped so-and-so with their marketing, and here were their results. I've also helped this person, and here were their results. And it all comes down to what can you do for them. Instead of just saying, I offer this as a service, just make sure you relate it back to a benefit for them. What can you do for them? What kind of results can they expect from this service? So if you do offer a done-for-you video creation service, well, what does that mean for them? Well, it means that they can spend more time running their business. They can forget about the headaches of trying to make videos on their own, post videos to their YouTube. They can actually get views on their videos, potential or targeted customers seeing their videos when they go into Google and search for their keyword. More people into their restaurant, more people seeing their website, more people booking rooms with them, more people doing business with them, more customers, more profits. So make sure you reference all that stuff. Then you end the video with a call to action, and this is where you basically tell them to contact you to learn more. So you told them what you do, you told them what it can do for them, and now you just close the video and say, if you're interested in this, I certainly can help, and I'd be interested in getting on the phone with you for a few minutes or 30 minutes, a free 30-minute consultation, whatever it is that you want to offer, and say, just reply to this email or give me a call on my cell phone, and we'll talk about it. So that's pretty much it. The whole idea of this video is to keep it casual, conversational, just like I'm making this video right here for you right now. It's not really scripted. I'm just working off a mind map. So the whole idea is to do this video just like that. Don't read a script. Just have a plan. You can have your notes on your desk or whatever to follow, but keep it very conversational and casual. And you're talking to a real person here, so you just want to come across as someone who is genuine. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This is the offline video proposal. So a squeeze page video is just like the title suggests. It's a video that is typically used on a squeeze page. Well, obviously it's used on a squeeze page, hence the name. It's really usually short, 60 seconds or less, because you're trying to get someone to enter their contact details. You don't want to lose their attention. So don't go overboard with these videos. Your goal is to leave your visitor or your viewer wanting more. So there should be a continuation of the story after they watch your squeeze page video. There should be something else for them to do to get the rest of this video or to get the rest of whatever you're talking about. So the squeeze page video has just 4 parts. We got the attention grabber, the value proposition, the benefits, and the call to action. So the attention grabber is the first thing that is said when they load up your squeeze page. It's going to say really quickly who you are and what you're about and why they should listen to you. So someone lands on your squeeze page and the video starts playing, and maybe you're giving away a free report on how to get started with Facebook ads or something. And so you want to start off the video with saying, hey, this is so-and-so from FacebookAds.com, FacebookAdsCourse.com, whatever. And I'm the author of the Amazon bestseller book called How to Get Started with Facebook Ads. Whatever you can do to position yourself as an expert on your topic really quickly. So in this example, we'd say, hey, it's John Doe, author of the best-selling book, How to Bake the Perfect Chocolate Chip Cookies in 17 Minutes. And the value position is what you have for them. So this is where you actually talk about your ethical bribe for them entering their contact details. So an example could be, let me add these quotes here. I just finished a brand new video series on how to bake the perfect apple pie in 9 minutes flat. Okay, so this is actually what you're giving away for free. Then you've got the benefits. This is actually talk about how your ethical bribe will help them, the specific benefits that they'll experience from it, how will it help them solve a specific problem. So in this case, John Doe, the cookie guy, would say, so you can spend less time slaving away over a hot stove and more time entertaining your guests and enjoying the food that you cook. And then you get into the call to action. How can they get this free thing you're giving away? Well, there's actually a catch, and the catch is that they have to enter their name and email address in the form below, and they'll instantly get it sent to their email. So this is a really simple outline for a squeeze page video. Squeeze page videos are really simple. They have one goal in mind, and that's to entice the viewer to enter their contact details. So again, there's just 4 main points. You've got the attention grabber. We grab their attention by telling them who you are, why they should listen to you. You have the value proposition where you tell them what you have for them, what you want to give them for free. You talk about how that free thing can benefit from them, and then you tell them how to get it. So this video should be no longer than 60 seconds in length. The shorter, the better. So this is a squeeze page video. Okay, so the Teach and Sell sales video is somewhat similar to a video sales letter, and it's also got some similarities to the documentary storytelling relationship style video as well. But it's unique in its own way because it has a very unique format. And you can see a perfect example for this format in my video black belt sales video. It basically follows a format very similar to this. And the point of this video is to obviously sell a product or service at the end. But the entire portion, or the good portion of the video, is actually free content. So we're giving away tons of free content, solving a bunch of problems, giving some free content away, giving some social proof away to back up that free content, and then using all of that goodwill and pre-selling to introduce a paid product or service that introduces the next step after all of this free content consumption. And then the video ends with a call to action. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So the video starts out with an introduction, and similar to the video sales letter, but the whole idea here is to keep this brief. So you want to open the video and say who you are, say your name, just a brief introduction. Why are you making this video here today? Tell your viewer what they're going to get out of this video. What are you going to cover? The whole idea here is to keep this very brief. Then you can actually get into your story. You can say, well, I got started 4 years ago, and I started because of this, and here are the struggles that I faced, and here are the problems that I ran into. And the problems that you ran into could be the same problems that your viewer is experiencing or about to experience, and those are the problems that you're going to discuss throughout the rest of this video, then ultimately introduce a paid solution for. So the reason why we want to tell a story is because we want to build rapport with the viewer and create trust and credibility with them, and make them see that you are a real person with struggles just like them, and someone who's been there, someone who's been in their shoes and is now overcome those problems and is here to help them overcome the same ones. So just an example, you could say, hey, my name is Jim, and I'm making this video because I finally figured out how to pay off all my debt in under 2 years, and go on to tell your story about how you got into debt and all the struggles you had and how you got out of it. So after you do the introduction, again, the introduction should not be long at all. It should kind of be a general overstatement of what's to come in the rest of the video. So you can touch on these things here, but don't give away too much. Don't get into them in too much detail. So the next step is to get into the problem identification. So this is, again, very similar to the video sales letter. This is where you actually start to talk about the problem that your upcoming free content will solve. So in video black belt, I was talking about how I didn't know that, actually, what was I talking about in Video Black Belt? It was actually about how I started using video marketing in my business. It talked about the problems of me starting up my business and having problems, why I started my business, and then I get into talking about how video helped me start making more money. So I talked about that, and I talked about how this is a real problem that I used to face. And if you don't have the particular problem that you're talking about, maybe, if you know that your customers have a problem and you personally have not had that problem, like I did with Video Black Belt, I could tell my own personal story of the problem of me starting my own business and figuring out how to use video to get things going. If you didn't have a personal problem like that, then you can actually use someone else's story and tell their story. You don't actually have to use yourself. If you have clients that have been through your product or service or used your product or service and have had prior struggles that you've helped them work out, you can actually tell this entire video through their point of view. So just like in the video sales letter video, which you should be watching before this one, is that people don't like to admit their problems, but they'll gladly listen to your problems if they're similar to the ones they have. It gives them something, or a mirror to look into, if you will. So if you call someone out and say they have a problem, chances are they're going to they're not going to want to listen to you. They're going to be hesitant to listen to what you have to say because they don't want to admit they have a problem. But if you tell them about problems that you had that they know that they have, they'll listen, and they'll be more apt to admit that they have a problem to themselves, and they'll be more open to a solution when you introduce it. So everyone loves a hero, so this is the reason why I like to tell my entire story. Reason being is because we see this in movies. People like to see how other people overcame their struggles. I call this the rise and fall technique. So I like to talk about, whenever I do this type of video, I talk about everything, right from the beginning to where I struggled to where I started to figure out how to do things better to where I am today, where I'm doing better. So just think about that as you're making these videos. Just tell the entire story. So here's just a few examples you can check out if you want to. So problem identification examples would be: I hated my job, didn't make enough money to support my family. I saw how others were making a killing online, so I quit my job and started my own business. But then I didn't have a plan and I ran into trouble. So the problem here would be that you didn't have a plan and to make money online, so you ran into trouble. So then you can go into agitate the problem again, just like the video sales letter. This is where you actually go in to talk about how the problem could get worse if they don't do anything about it. So you actually don't tell them how their life's going to get worse. You basically show them how their life could get worse, because you show them how your life did get worse when you didn't do anything about the problem. So if you were trying to sell someone on a cure for bad breath, and these people have admitted that they have the problem, but they haven't really got to the point that you got in the past where your bad breath started to ruin your relationships and stuff, then you would tell them about how it ruined your relationships. It cost you a job, for example. I know that's kind of a silly example, but you talk about how the problem hurt your life and let your viewer know what's in it for them if they don't do anything about solving this problem. So far we've introduced ourselves. We've told them what they're gonna discover in this video. We've identified a potential problem. We've talked about how the problem could get worse if they don't do anything about it. And then we go into the free content. So the free content should be strategically picked to position your product or service as the next logical step after consuming your free content. So, for example, in Video Black Belt, I gave away 3 tips on how to get more conversions from their marketing videos, and then the paid product was all 21 of those tips, or all 21 of those tactics. So it really goes hand in hand with the free content. The paid content matches up with the free content. The paid content is the next logical step forward from the free content. It's a no-brainer. So after you give away the free content, you can get into the social proof, and the whole idea is to use social proof to sell people not on your product, because you haven't even introduced that yet. You're selling people on your free content, because if you can sell people on your free content, then you don't have to do much selling for your paid content. They'll sell themselves on it. So with Video Black Belt, I followed the same technique here. I introduced myself, talked about how I wanted to start my own business, or I was forced to start my own business because I had problems. Didn't make enough money. I talked about those problems, how I started to run out of money, maybe had trouble getting clients, and then I discovered video and things started to turn around for me. So when I discovered video, I realized that I came up with a bunch of different tactics on how to get more conversions from them. So for the free content, I gave away 3 tactics, and then I used social proof to say, well, these tactics also work for other people. Then I used examples of other people who used my video marketing and video conversion advice in the past. Okay, and then once I sold them on that, then I say, well, by the way, all of this is great, but it's part of a bigger product called Video Black Belt, which is 21 different video conversion tactics, not just 3. So this is where you introduce your product or service as the solution, the full solution to this problem. So you have given them a solution, but you're giving them more. You're giving them the next step, the full package. Basically is what you're doing here. You basically want to ask your viewer if they want more. You say, well, there's a lot more where this came from. This is just a taste. Do you want more information on how to do this even better? Then you might be interested in my XYZ product. Then you go into what it is. You give the name, brief 2 to 3 sentences of what the product is. You notice how I did that in Video Black Belt. I basically introduce the product and say it's a step-by-step course on how to get on 21 different ways to get better conversions from your marketing videos. And then I go in to explain exactly what they get, tell them it's a video course, and I even talk about, I'm not sure if I have a bonus in there. I think I do mention it in the sales letter anyways, but there is a bonus that they do get. But if you do have a bonus, mention that in the video. And then obviously stack the value. What's this, what's all this stuff worth? What is each module worth in your course? What is your entire ebook worth? What is whatever you're selling here? What is it worth in real world value? And then add up the value. So introduce your product and add up the value, and we're going to use that value when we introduce our price. So the next step is the call to action. This is where you actually reveal the price and tell them how to order your paid product. So you can reference that total value that we just talked about. So with Video Black Belt, I think I talked about the total value being around $297 because of all the different tactics that they're going to learn in it. And then I reference that total value. Then I reveal the final price of $97. And then I tell them how to order by clicking the button on the page, following the checkout process, and getting access to the members area where they can get their get access to the training and watch it immediately. And then I actually tell them why they need to order right now, and the reason why they need to order is because when I'm having a sale on it, I reference the time limited sale. I talk about how I'm going to be raising the price soon, a whole bunch of different reasons why they need to order now. For me anyways, so you need to think about that for your product as well. So here's just a few more examples you can run through, and again, these were actually used in the video sales letter template as well. So again, make sure you check out that one as well, because everything kind of stems from that. So this is the teach and sell sales video, just really a nice way to create a sales video or a video sales letter for your product or service while also providing tons of value to your viewer. Hey, it's Peter, and welcome to the template for the video sales letter video. So this is probably one of the most popular and widely used marketing videos online, especially among us internet marketing types of people. Basically, like I said here, a video sales letter is a long form sales letter in video form, basically. They typically range from 5 to 7 minutes in length for a low ticket offer, usually under $97, or 20 minutes on up to an hour or more for offers in the higher ticket range, around $197, $497, into the thousands of dollars, because you need more time to sell a more expensive product. So you can often see video sales letters being used to sell info products, video courses, software, WordPress plugins, coaching, consulting, and all kinds of high-ticket services, health supplements even, They're used among many different niches, not just in not just in online marketing. So it totally depends on the business that you're in. But basically, to see an example of one of my best video sales letters, I've made a bunch over the years, but one of my favorites that I've made for myself anyways is the one I made for Promo Video Pro, which is one of my other products. So if you want to see a good example of a good video sales letter that's brought in thousands of dollars in sales, again, related back to, or sales that can be credited back to this sales video, then you definitely want to check out this video here. I've gotten a lot of compliments on this, people writing to me saying they bought this product because they love the video so much. So take a few minutes and check that video out. Watch it from beginning to end. It's just under 19 minutes long, and it might not follow this format exactly, but it has the overall, similar structure here. So every video sales letter that you make is not going to follow this exact format. It might stray from it a little bit differently, but they're going to have all of these key elements. So without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump right into it. So I'm just going to walk you through the different key parts of a video sales letter, and each one has a bunch of information that goes with it, and I'm just going to walk you through it and basically help you write your script for your next video sales letter. So every video sales letter should start out with an introduction of some kind, obviously because people want to know who is actually speaking to them in the video. You don't just want to open up the video and just start talking and assume that they know who you are. And unless you're a famous person or you're well known in your niche, you should always start off your video sales letter with an introduction. Who are you? Specifically come out and say who you are. Say your name and just give a brief introduction about yourself. Don't go overboard here, but just say your name, what it is that you do, and then go into saying, why are you making this video? It's always nice to have a reason why when you're telling a story, because videos are all about storytelling. So it's always good to have a reason why you're making this video. Why are you making this video? Why is this person, or why should this person who's watching your video care that you made this video? Tell them what you're going to tell them. This is another thing that I try to remember every time I make a video. You always want to capture the attention of your viewer, and your aim is to keep that attention through the entire length of the video. But naturally, people are going to drop off as they get further through the video. But if you can, in the very beginning, tell them what you're going to tell them, what's in store for them if they stick around, that's obviously going to increase the chance of them sticking around and watching your entire video, because you told them what you're going to tell them. They know what they're going to, they know what they can expect if they stick around. And also, make sure you tell them what they'll get out of the video. Just because it's a sales video doesn't mean that, it shouldn't be educational or helpful in nature. Yeah, we're going to be selling something here, but it's always good practice to always be providing value of some kind to the viewer. The video should be worth watching. It shouldn't just be a straight up pitch for something. It should be helpful. It should get your viewer thinking. It should get your viewer interested in what you're talking about, and it should help them in some way, whether they buy your product or not. So again, tell them what they're going to get out of it. If they're going to learn 3 tips on how to get more chiropractor clients, then tell them that. And then at the end of the video, you can pitch your paid service. Another thing I really believe in when it comes to selling through video is storytelling, telling your personal story. You notice I do this a lot in my videos. It's because people can connect with stories. They like to know who's behind the screen, if you will. They like to know that there's a real person over there with, people who had, or someone who faced similar struggles to them, someone who has experienced the same problems as them. They just want to know that you're a real person. So tell your story. Talk about how you got started. Talk about the struggles you faced in the beginning, and then start to talk about the problem that we're going to talk about in this video sales letter. So selling is all about solving problems, which we're going to talk about here soon. And this video sales letter format here is all about identifying a problem that you had, or you know someone who had this problem. The problem just so happens to be the same problem that your viewer has, and we'll talk about why we're going to do it that way in a minute here. And then we're going to agitate that problem and really turn the knife, if you will, and kind of talk about the implications of the problem, how the problem could get worse if they do nothing about it. And then we're going to propose a solution to that problem, and that solution is our product. So any product or service will have a problem associated with it, whether it's your own story, whether it's a customer you can tell their story, or made up customer, or an avatar, or whatever. You always need to start out your video sales letters with a story. If it's not how you got started or the struggles you faced, maybe you can pick a customer of yours, problems they had and problems they faced before they solved their problem with your product. So this is where we start to talk about the problem. And I'll just keep going back to my own examples here. Actually, another good example is a video sales letter I just made for a product called Video Black Belt, which is another product that I offer. And when I start off in that video telling my story, the whole point of the video sales letter was to sell my video training course. And in order to do that, I had to get the viewer to believe that I knew what I was talking about when it came to making awesome videos. So in order to do that, I had to talk about how I got into video. And in order to do that, I had to talk about, how I, quit my job and started my business and got into video. So I talked about the struggles I had in the beginning with video, how I made embarrassing videos and lost clients because of it. So I basically told my personal story, and I was starting to talk about the problem, which was not knowing how to make awesome videos. So hopefully that makes sense. And like I said, we just touched on this a little bit, but why tell a story? It's to build rapport with the viewer. You want to create that trust and credibility with them. They need to know you're a real person. And also, this is a big one right here, is it gives your viewer a mirror to look through so that they can admit that they have a problem. So people don't like to admit that they have problems, but they're more than happy to listen to someone else talk about their problems that they also have. So, for example, if I had a problem with, I wanted to quit smoking, for example, and I was looking online for a product on how to help me quit smoking. In the back of my mind, I know that I need to quit, but I don't actually want to admit that I can't. And I don't want to admit that smoking has taken over my self-control and I can't quit. So I'm more than likely to listen to someone else talk about how smoking took over their life and how it controlled their life, and the urge to smoke was stronger than their will to quit. I'm more than likely and more than happy to listen to that person talk about their struggles than admit that I have those problems. For example, if someone calls me out and says I'm weak and I can't quit smoking on my own, I'm automatically going to go into denial and shut down and probably, close the video. But if that person talks about their struggles, I can actually relate to those problems, and I can admit to myself that I have those problems by listening to their story, if that makes sense. So I'm more apt to listen to what they're telling me because they're telling it to me through their point of view. Okay, so always be telling, when you describe your problems, always be describing them as your problems or someone else's problems. Don't actually call out your viewer, say you have a problem or you suck at this. Don't do that. Always use yourself or someone else or an avatar or a theoretical customer as an example. So, for example, obviously, tell your story. So that's basically it for the introduction. Say who you are, why you're making this video here today. Tell your story very briefly, and of course, tell your story because it allows you to connect with your customer, and it allows your customer to admit their struggles and their problems without actually being called out on them. So after you got the introduction done, you move into the problem identification phase of the video sales letter. So the introduction might last anywhere from a minute to up to 5 minutes in length. It totally depends on how long your story is and how you present it. There's really no time limit here. Just don't make your introduction the entire length of the video, because people obviously, they obviously like listening. They want to hear your story, but they're not going to sit through 20 minutes of you talking about nothing but yourself. So try to keep this under 5 minutes at max. So after the introduction is out of the way, you've built the foundation for the problem. You've got the viewer admitting, yeah, I might have this same problem too. Then they're interested in learning more. So this is where you can start to talk about the problem a little bit more. So like I said here, this is where you start to talk about the problem your product or service solves. So eventually we're going to introduce a solution, a product or service that solves this problem. We're not going to say that yet. We're just going to talk about the problem in specifically, and we're going to identify this problem, identify this as a problem that we or someone else that we know has faced. And like I said, I've already said some of this stuff here, so I'm just going to skip right through it. People don't like to admit their problems, but they will gladly listen to yours. Gives them a mirror to look through, helps them admit they have a problem, and they will resist you if you tell them that they have a problem. And the last reason why you want to tell your problem or tell your story and explain the problem through a story is because everyone loves a hero. Everyone loves to hear a story of someone who overcame their problems, someone who was broke and made millions and all that stuff. Everyone likes this stuff. It's called the rise and fall technique, or that's what I like to call it. So we see this being used in movies all the time. Every movie has a hero, and the hero usually always wins. And like I said, people like to see how others overcame their struggles, especially if they're the same struggles that they're experiencing themselves. So let's go through a few examples here. Let me put some of these away here. So just a few examples could be, I hated my job and I didn't make enough money to support my family. I saw how others were making a killing online, so I quit my job and started my own business, but I didn't have a plan, so I ran into trouble. So the problem here could be that this guy hated his job and he couldn't make enough money to support his family and do the things that he wanted to do. He saw how others were making a bunch of money online, and he wanted to start his own online business. So he quit his job, started his business, and then soon ran into trouble because he didn't know what he was doing. So that could be the problem identification. And then you actually move into the next phase, which is where you actually agitate the problem. I like to call this twisting the knife, if you will. And this is basically where you talk about the very specific details of the problem. So the problem here in this example was actually a few problems here embedded here. One, the viewer could hate their job and still have a job. They could probably have a job and not make enough money, and they're looking for a different way to make money. So they could probably want to start their own online business, or they could already have a business that's failing. So there's actually 3 potential problems embedded in this story already. So this video could actually appeal to 3 different people. So what we're going to do now is we start to agitate the problem. We explain how the problem got worse for us or the person we're talking about, as long as it's not the viewer. And we actually show them what's in store for them if they don't take action to solve the problem. Again, without exactly or specifically calling the viewer out. So we actually talk about what happened to us or how the problem got worse. So up here we have, let's see here, we have the problem where, again, he quit his job, started his own business, didn't have a plan, so he ran into trouble. So what does that mean? Well, that means that he couldn't pay his bills. It means that he had to live off ramen noodles for months. It means that his wife left him. It means that he had to get a job at McDonald's, work in the drive-thru for minimum wage. It meant that his friends and family laughed at him and thought he was a joke. So these are all implications of this problem, okay? So it's very important to not just call out the problem, but talk about how the problem got worse for you or how it got worse for your subject. And even if your viewer is not at this phase yet, they're going to know what's in store for them too, if they don't do something about fixing their problem. So they may be at this phase already, and they may be at a job they hate. They may not have quit yet. They may not have started their business, but maybe they've thought about it, okay? And they know they probably don't have a plan. Well, if you're down here telling them all the things that happened to you because you did these things, then they know this is what's in store for them if they don't have a plan. So your product or your solution could be exactly like a video course on how to start up your profitable online business in under 30 days, for example. So make sure you go in and agitate that problem. No matter what your product or service is, there's always a way to do this. For just as another example, if you're pitching landscaping services, well, the problem could be that your yard looked terrible and people made fun of you all the time because your lawn was brown and it looked like crap. And you went to sell your house one day and no one wanted to buy it because it just didn't look good or something like that. And then you could go in to agitate the problem to say that you ended up not being able to sell your house despite buying a new house, and you had to sell your old house to move into the new one or whatever. You could just talk about that problem, talk about how it got worse, talk about how you ran out of money because you had to pay both mortgages. Whatever worst case scenario would be with the problem, that's what you're going to talk about here. And again, it doesn't matter what business you're in, there's always a way to do it. So after you've agitated the problem, this is where you're going to propose a solution to the problem. So we're not introducing anything yet. We're still not talking about our product. We're still not even introducing the solution yet. We're just going to propose a solution. What if a solution existed? So we're just going to talk about that now. So this is where we talk about the solution that we found. So going back to the guy who quit his job to make more money, and he didn't have a plan, so he ran out of money and his wife left him and his whole life fell apart. Well, this is where we can talk about the solution that he found. So the solution could be that he came across an awesome secret formula for starting up and running a business in under 30 days, or taking a business to $10,000 a month in under 60 days, or something like that. You just need to talk about the solution that you found, how it helped you turn things around. And the reason that we're doing this is twofold. Number one, we're getting ready, we're setting them up for our product, okay? And we're also trying to lift their spirits and create hope. So by this point in the video, their mood is probably down in the depressed range, okay? They're going through some pretty gloomy storytelling here. They're hearing about all these life problems that you're talking about, all the bad things that you went through, and then here is where you actually lift their spirits and you want to create some hope in their mind. Show them how your solution helped you. Did it help you get more customers? Did it help you get more profits? Did it help you make more money so you could go on more vacations with your family? Did it help you buy that exotic car that you always wanted? Did it help you make more money so you can work less and spend more time with your family? What did it do? How did the solution help you? And then finally, once you show them how things turned around for you, so everything, we've done a 180 now. So we've gone through all the down times. Now we're starting to turn around. We've found a solution to our problem. We still haven't told them that they can have that same solution. We've just told them, what worked for us. And now we're going to offer the viewer a chance to take advantage of that same solution. So we could ask them how their life would change if this same solution was available to them. How would they benefit? How would their life change for the better? And this is where you can actually in the video say, just imagine how your life would be with an extra $10,000 a month in income, or just imagine how your life would be if you could get the phone numbers of any girl that you walked up to in the bar, or obviously if you're doing a dating product or something like that. Or just imagine what your neighbors would think of you if you had the greenest lawn in the neighborhood. or something like that. You just want to get them imagining what their life would be like if they had the same solution that you had. And again, just a few examples here. This is where you actually talk about, or this is how you can actually talk about the solution. So the solution could be something that you stumbled upon. It could be a step-by-step formula for doing something. It could be how you experimented with something and cracked the code to doing a certain thing. You know, you want to ask them, what if they could get their hands on this same formula? So the key here is not telling them exactly everything that you know. You want to tell them the what, but not the how. So if you did discover a step-by-step formula for creating the greenest lawn ever, tell them tell them the results of that, but don't tell them how you did it. Don't tell them the step-by-step details. Just show them the results of that. Show them how it helped you. Show them how it turned things around for you. Just don't tell them the secret recipe, because that's going to be in the product. So after you propose the solution, if they've made it this far, they're on board with you. Okay, so you've taken them through this roller coaster ride of emotion here. You pretty much have got them to admit to themselves that they have the problem. You've painted a picture of what's in store for them if they don't fix that problem, so they know they need a solution. You've actually talked about your solution, and you've asked them if they, how their life would change for the better if they had the same solution. So at this point, you are perfectly set up to introduce your solution. And I don't know why these are all expanded like that. They shouldn't be. So this is where we actually introduce our solution or our product. So our product serves as the solution to the problem that we've been talking about this whole time, and it's the how. So again, in the solution, where we talk about the solution, we talk about the what, but here is where we actually give them the chance to learn the how, exactly how we solve the problem. So this is where you actually introduce your product. You say the name of your product. This is the Green Lawn Maker Program 5000. It's a 17-part video series that walks you step by step on how to cultivate the greenest lawn on the block in under 30 days guaranteed. So you want to quickly introduce the product, say the name, briefly introduce it with 2 to 3 sentence overview, nothing extravagant yet, but then you actually go into talking about what they get. Like I just said, be specific about what they get. Is it 10 step-by-step videos? Is it a 17-page PDF? What exactly are they getting? And then to add even more value, you want to talk about some bonuses. You always want to include bonuses where you can. And your bonuses should always enhance the product. They shouldn't make the product complete. They shouldn't, the product should not be incomplete without the bonus. The bonus should only add more value or enhance the main product. It could make the product turnkey, for example. So maybe if you're selling a video course on how to start up and run your own business, okay, then maybe your bonus could be a software program that gets them free traffic to their website or something like that, or finds them leads on autopilot. Basically, it enhances that main product. It could help them get faster results. And after you introduce your product, this is where you actually, before you introduce the price, we're not introducing the price yet. That's going to be down in the call to action. So this is where you just actually give them a sneak peek of your product. What exactly do you have? And once you've introduced it, tell them what the product is, what they're going to get. Here's where you actually go into stack the value. This is where you talk about the value of everything. So if you have a 10-module video course, go through and give each module of that video course a dollar value. Maybe each module is worth $97. Maybe it's worth $197. And maybe the bonuses are worth $497. Go through and add up all those values and put the total value of everything on the screen. Say, for example, each module, or the information in each module is easily worth $197, and the bonus is worth $497. And if you can add some reasoning behind those dollar amounts, do that. Perhaps you could say each module is worth $497 because that's how much money I made when I implemented these tactics in my business, for example. So when you propose the solution to them up here, you say, well, how would your life change if you had this? What if you could take advantage of the same formula that I used? And then this is where you actually say it in your video. You say, well, now you can. Introducing the Profit Maker 2000 or the Green Lawn Maker 5000. So that's how I would actually go into introduce the product and then say what's exactly inside, what they get, and talk about what it's all worth. So after you've introduced the product, talked about what they get, talk about the value, we still have not introduced the price yet. We still have some important things to do. The next step is the social proof step. So this is where you actually talk about testimonials, or if you have testimonials for your product, or people who have been through it, people who have bought your product or service, people who are satisfied with you. This is where you actually put those things in the video. So these could be successful customers, students, or clients. And it doesn't have to be for that particular product. It could be someone who bought a related product or service from you, who is also happy with that product or service. And you could say something like, these are people who have invested in my products or invested in my services before. Here's what they had to say. So it doesn't have to be for that exact product or service. It could be for something else that you offer. Another thing, people think that testimonials need to be word for word. So you don't actually have to get a testimonial from someone to actually use them as an example. So I've done this before where I know that someone has bought my product and they've had good results with it. And all I did is I just used a picture of them and said, so-and-so had this kind of result with my product. And I obviously got their permission to do that, but I didn't need a word-for-word testimonial from them. I just used them as an example in the video. Again, check out some of my other videos here. Promo Video Pro, Video Black Belt are probably two of my best video sales letters where you can see this kind of stuff in action. And if you can do it, if you can swing it, video testimonials are always best. If you can get your customers on camera, always include those in the video where you can. So after you've shown some testimonials, here's where you can actually get into some proof elements, through screenshots. If you are selling a product related to how to make money or a business-to-business type product, this is probably going to apply to you. If not, then you can always show some other type of screenshot. If you're, again, let's go back to the landscaping example. If you're trying to show that your product brings people the greenest lawn in the neighborhoods, perhaps you can show a screenshot of some of your customers' lawns, how great they look, or put their home with the sold sign in front of it to show that the green lawn helped sell the house. Whatever it is that you can do to show that your customers had success with your product, do that here. And these can be results of you or of your customers. And what we're trying to do here is we're trying to get them seeing these kind of results as being possible for them, because if it worked for you or if it worked for others, it can also work for them. So it's really important to show very specific results, whether it's a monetary result or getting a greener lawn, learning how to wax your car so it looks showroom perfect, showing cars that look really clean, whatever it may be, whatever problem your product solves or service solves, show screenshots of the end result. And just a few more examples before we move on. One example could be for the testimonial. It could be Julie quit her job and made $1 gazillion in the past 60 days with this. And then here's proof that this is working for me, and you could show screenshots. So once you've got the social proof, now it's time to finally ask them or tell them how to order. So this is the call to action. So this is where you actually finally reveal the price and tell them how to order. So you don't want to just end the video and assume they know how to order. You actually have to tell them what to do. So before you do that, you're going to reveal the price. So before we reveal the price, we're going to reference the total value again up here, where we stacked the value and got the total value of all the modules or whatever it may be, plus the bonuses. We want to reference that total value again, and then finally, once we reference that, then we cross that out in the video and we reveal the final price. So let's say the total value is $1,997. You could say, as we discussed before, all this stuff is worth $1,997, but you're obviously not going to have to pay that. You can get it today for just one payment of $97. Okay, so that's how that would work. And then you actually go into telling them how they can actually order. What do they have to do to place this order? What are the exact steps? So what I like to do is I like to say specifically what they need to do. You know, below this video, there should be an orange Buy Now button. Go ahead and click that Buy Now button to order, to place your order, and you'll be instantly taken to the checkout page. So that's where I like to talk about what happens when they order. So people like to know how they actually get access to something, or how the service is going to be rendered. You know, when do they actually get the thing they bought? So again, using digital products as an example, what happens when they order? And then I would go on to say, once you complete the checkout process through PayPal, your login details will be instantly emailed to you, where you can access the private members area and immediately download everything that you just bought. Or if you're doing a physical product, you could say, once you complete the checkout process, you will receive an order notification from us via email, and your order will ship out within 24 hours via next day FedEx Air or something like that. And next, we want to talk about, or we need to give them a reason why they should order right now, or why they need to order right now instead of waiting for later. So people like to put things off. Especially when it comes to buying something, they'll make up excuses of why they don't need to buy it right now, and eventually they'll end up changing their mind and not buy it at all. So you want to get them buying right now, and not tomorrow, not later, not 5 minutes from now, right now. So you need to give them a reason for that. So you can either do that with limited copies, or you can do it with a time limited offer. So if you can use these two together, that's obviously better. But if you can put a limit on the amount of copies you're going to sell, or how many units you have in stock, or how many clients you can take on for your service, or whatever it may be, reference that limit here. Maybe you can only work with 5 clients at once. Maybe you can only sell 100 copies of your course. Or maybe that you're running a limited time sale, and in 5 days the price is going to go up, or it's going to double. Whatever the case may be, you need to give them that reason why they need to order right now. If you don't, your conversions are going to be much lower than if you did use this element. You always want to be using some type of scarcity element, okay? And then, just as an example, format here for the call to action flow, it would basically go like this, like I said. So you're probably wondering what the price is. Remember how we talked about earlier, how it's all worth $1,997, as we just talked about. If you order today, you can get it for just one payment of $97. Click the orange button below to order. Once you complete the checkout process, you'll be taken to the members area, where you can get the product, etc. And then finally, where we bring in the scarcity. Don't delay. This is a limited time special offer that expires once the timer hits 0. Click the orange button below to order, and I'll see you on the inside. So that's the basic rundown of a typical video sales letter. If you have any questions, just let me know. But basically, if you go through this and follow this, step by step as you're writing your script, then you shouldn't have a problem. This is the same format that I use whenever I create video sales letters for me or clients. And a lot of my videos have made thousands of dollars, and if it works for me, then I know it will work for you. So I'll see you in the next mind map.